let's get familiar with the platform. So regardless of what plan you're using, free plan or one of the paid plans, and the paid plans, they're not necessary. Eventually you may need one if you want to be a more sophisticated trader, but that is up to you. You will know as you go along your journey whether it's worth it and at what point it's worth paying for the paid plan. But with the free plan, you can still do most of the things you need to do. The most important would be right away to get familiar with the setup. It's a candlestick chart in multiple different time frames, and you can have a watch list. So this is where you would start to populate a list with your favorite coins. So you can go just directly to crypto. If you just go to the crypto with nothing else on it, you can select some of the most popular ones. Let's say we want Bitcoin, we want Ethereum, and then let's pick a few altcoins: Solana, Doge, ADA, XRP. And there we're starting to build a watch list that's totally customizable to your own preferences and liking. The benefit of the watch list is that you can see very easily the different prices, the changes, what's going up more, what's going down, and maybe spot any anomalies in them, anything that might stand out as a bit weird to you. Then we'll get familiarized with the drawing tools. So on the left-hand side, you can draw on the chart. This is what you'll have seen if you've never traded before, but you've seen some trading videos. This is probably something like what you'll have seen, where somebody has drawing, let's say they draw with a trend line. You can take a line, you can draw it across the chart. You'll see that there are some with stars. They're ones that I have favorited. So you can set favorites for as many as you wish. You can then press the button at the bottom and it will bring up a trading panel that floats with your favorites. So some other common ones you might want: horizontal line is useful for marking your support and resistance. Say here, looks like a resistance level. We have a horizontal line. You can leave that there, come back to it after. The rest of them, most of these are fairly self-explanatory. You can just have a play around with them. Then we go into some of the other typical commonly used indicators or patterns. One that would be used is fib retracement. Not going to get into that here, what it is and what it does, but you have it, you draw it from one end to another of a move, and then you can see retracements of that move. The color scheme is just a little bit different. There you can see some of the retracement levels, customizable to your own preference. Again, the majority of these I don't even use. In fact, I never use any of them except fib retracement. That doesn't mean you don't have to use them. It's just so you know that don't be getting too confused. A lot of this stuff is not necessary. Brush, if you just want to draw on the chart for whatever reason. Rectangle, people use these for drawing boxes. You could draw a box around a consolidation level that we then break from to maybe indicate that if we come back there, you might want to look to buy if it gets a retest. Or you could have a box along untested level like this and draw it further out and say this is potentially a zone of support. Because a lot of time with charting, it's not going to come to the exact level. It might go a little bit lower, and it more likely goes into an area rather than one specific price. You've got text box if you want to draw something to remind yourself. You could say support, you could say something like that. None of these personally have I ever really used. Long position, short position tool are quite useful. If you're estimating a position, let's say you're telling yourself that if it comes down to this level and it holds this orange level and it doesn't go below this box, that you would set a long order for there with a stop loss there, and then you can estimate where your target price would be. So let's say you wanted to target to go back into this level of potential support. There you can begin to frame the idea of a trade. It's just an estimating tool to give you an idea that 1.8, that means for every dollar you risk, you would get 1.8 back. And you can start to build trade ideas in real time on the chart. Same in reverse for a short position. You've got some measuring tools for time, price, and then both. So if you want to check how many bars was this, what did that equate to in real time, you can see that it was 17 hours. Or how much was that in price? Let's say this pump. This pump in price was 6.57%. Then you have both together. You can put that across a whole range and say that in this entire range, we went up 14.86% over 1 day and 14 hours. Most of the rest of it, not really super relevant. This measuring tool, you can just click it, and for wherever you want to drag it, it will drag and show you the percentage, but it won't stay on the chart. So when you click away, it will disappear. We have a Crypto Wins channel. That is where you can go and flex your P&L. I want to see that stuffed full of profitable, smart trades that you've learned from the lessons, applying the concepts, using it to improve your trading, and showing me in that channel how you are progressing as a trader. We've got 3 campuses within crypto. We've got investing, we've got DeFi, and we've got trading. We're the traders. We're the guys that are making money day in, day out. So I want to see it every day, filling up, filling up, filling up. It gives me energy to read and see all the wins. Remember to follow the rules. Closed trades only. Paper profits aren't worth anything. And I want to see things, especially if it's a trade that you take and it happens to have higher leverage because you've watched the leverage video and you understand how that works. Explain that for the other students. High leverage is not irresponsible if done correctly, but you must explain your trade if it has high leverage. Then we want to see what you've done with the money. I want to see one of 2 things. I either want to see real shit in real life that you've bought for yourself, for your family, to make your life better, to make your family's life better, to live a better life. Or I want to see your consistent week over week, month over month growth in your P&L, in your equity curve. I want to see those account balances rising steadily over time to show your consistency. Anyone can get lucky on one trade. I want to see traders growing. I spot the names. I see it. I look at this channel every day. I see who's consistently posting and who just jumps in every now and then with a win. I want to see everyone consistent, posting, wins, 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 wins. Let's do it. Remember, winners compound. Now get back to work. Magnet can be quite useful if you want to draw lines on exact targets. So let's say we've got the trend line and we don't want to draw this trend line across the top of this level here. So what you do with the magnet, you'll notice that as I scroll along, it's automatically clicking it onto the highs. So if I draw that trend line, it puts it right from that level. That's what the magnet does. But the magnet won't allow me to draw it anywhere else within this area. I can't draw it where I exactly want to draw it now because it's going to click it right onto that high. So you can just disable the magnet and then you can freely move around the trend line with no issues. This is if you have a lot of drawings on the chart. So you've got a lot of drawings in the chart, you want to hide them, you can hide them with that. If you want to delete everything, use the bin. Everything else, pretty self-explanatory. Also, we then have indicators. This is where you'll find some of the common things you might want to use. Let's say a moving average. And again, you can see how you can favorite some of them. If you want to keep them, look back at them later. You press the moving average, it brings it onto the chart, it brings it up to here. You go to the gear icon and you can change all things. You can have it set for time frame, same time as the chart. You can set it for a day and change the length. Let's say it's a 20-day. Now we have 20-day moving average on the chart. You can remove that. You can have all different types of indicators for all different types of things. You can do bar replay. And bar replay allows you to choose a time in the past, go back to that time, and then play as if it were happening in real time. And you can speed it up. This is good for back testing and for pattern recognition if you want to practice. If you want to go through and watch this as if it was in real time, you can see how price develops and you can pause it. You can say, okay, if I was trading this live, what would I be looking at? Where would my support be, resistance, targets, etc. The bar replay, good pattern for learning, or good indicator, good feature for learning. And finally, you can set price alerts. If you want to set a price alert, you can do it either by pressing alert, then choosing the price. So say I want to set an alert for ETH if ETH goes below 2000. And I can put a message in it, say, is the rally over? Usually say these as messages to yourself. So if it goes below that level, you'll get an alert and it will say, is the rally over? And you can go in and check and see, using your analysis, what you think of that. To delete it, same way, just delete. So you can set alerts that way, or you can draw them on the chart. You can go to the plus tool and just add it directly there. I will add it right on at whatever price you want. There are many different modes and views. If you do this, it'll give you different time frames. So this is a daily view, one full day on a 1 minute chart. If you click the 5 day, it'll give you a 5-day view on a 5 minute chart. You can have a 1 month view on a 30-minute chart, 3 month view that you'd zoom out for, and so on and so on. You've got your time at the bottom. You can change the time zone into whatever you want. You can change into log scale or leave it in linear. I recommend for short-term trading, always use linear. And that's pretty much everything you need to know for TradingView to begin with, drawing tools, and how to get started. So now going into the lessons, you'll have a better idea of how to implement some of the technical analysis techniques that you're going to be shown.